Welcome to Vintage Hollywood Archive. Lynda Carter was an Amazon princess, voluptuous, but tough as nails. In the 70s, when action stars were all men, Wonder Woman was both beauty and brawn. Starring in the hit series, Lynda Carter gave television audiences something they had never seen before, an icon of a strong, empowered, and sexy female action hero. How Lynda Carter suffered from alcoholism behind Wonder Woman. Make sure to watch the video until the end and leave your thoughts in the comments. If you are new here, join our wonderful community by subscribing to the Vintage Hollywood Archive channel. Lynda Carter, the original Wonder Woman. Her complicated life and career. In the role of television's Diana Prince, or Wonder Woman, Lynda Carter had the strength, resilience, and intelligence to fight crime and put the troubles of the world to rest. As an in-demand actress and singer in the 1980s, Carter used those same qualities to make the real-life decision to turn her back on the Hollywood lifestyle in favor of a family-friendly, politically invested life in Washington, D.C. She enjoyed portraying a role model for people. They were going to be in a world where it was okay to be smart, okay to be beautiful, okay to be feminine, okay to be strong, okay to be athletic, she said. When the United Nations wanted to name Wonder Woman as the organization's ambassador, their intention was to represent female empowerment. Nevertheless, this was not taken too well by others, and more than 600 UN staff members signed a petition to stop it. While some saw the representation of Wonder Woman as not being an appropriate spokeswoman for the United Nations, Carter emphasized that the role of Wonder Woman and all she embodied was about fighting for freedom, rather than a woman walking around in scantily clad clothing. Lynda Carter was born in Phoenix, Arizona on July 24, 1951. Her mother, who passed on in 2013, is of Mexican descent. Many people aren't aware that Lynda is multiracial with a half-Mexican background, but she is 50% Latina. Her father is American and spent most of his life working as an art dealer. Perhaps that's where she gets her sublime artistic side. She was born as Lynda Jean Cardova Carter, but she preferred to be known as one of a kind. She then chose to change her name from Lynda to the exotic Lynda in order to stand alone on her own in the entertainment industry. And that was the start of Lynda Carter. Her childhood nickname was Olive Oil. Unfortunately, Carter's childhood nickname wasn't meant as a compliment. She told that kids in her high school would refer to her as the lanky Popeye character because she was tall and had large feet. Of course, those bullies are probably regretting that now. Ever since she was a little girl, Lynda Carter knew that she was going to have a career in show business. She studied drama and classical dance. Although Lynda Carter is a household name due to her TV and film career, she actually started as a musician. Choosing to pursue her passion since a young age, Carter played guitar and marimba in several bands while still in high school. At age 17, she joined her two cousins and together they performed as the musical group named The Relatives. Their drummer was Gary Berghoff, who later left the band to appear in the hit show MASH. The group toured the United States from coast to coast and went to be an opening act for a show in the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas for almost 3 months. Since she was under the age of 21, Carter had to be sneaked into the hotel through the kitchen. After the band broke up, Carter joined a different group called the Garfin Gathering in 1970, but chose to keep her musical career on the back burner as she preferred to concentrate on her acting career. Her career began when 21-year-old Carter had spontaneously applied for a local beauty competition that was held in her home state of Arizona. After she won first place, she was sent to compete and subsequently won the Miss Phoenix and Miss Arizona competitions. She then represented the United States in the Miss World pageant in 1972, eventually reaching the contestant semifinals. Although she didn't win, the competition successfully helped boost her status in the entertainment business thereafter. Soon after, she joined Hollywood, studying acting in NYC and showing up on shows like Starsky and Hutch. She outdistanced hundreds of other actresses for the part of iconic Wonder Woman, a character she infused with such depth and humor that it has become one of the most indelible characters in television history. She was nearly broke when she landed the role. I had $25 left in my bank account when I got the call from my agent that I got Wonder Woman. The then 24-year-old actress even had to borrow money to make rent that month because production didn't start for another few weeks. If Wonder Woman herself needs a loan, we feel a little better about our own lives. She was nearly a Charlie's Angel. When auditioning, this star had the difficult task of competing against over 2,000 other women to fight for the lead role. Additionally, 3 of them were the future Charlie's Angels leads: Jaclyn Smith, Kate Jackson, and Farrah Fawcett. However, none were as commanding as the powerful presence of Lynda. Imagine how different the entire show and its legacy would be if Carter weren't at the helm. It is not often you hear of Hollywood actors performing their own stunts in movies, unless they get some crazy adrenaline thrills and there is little chance of their life being in danger. She's not afraid to do her own stunts. Obviously, there's a lot of stunt work involved in filming a superhero series, but that's not something that ever scared Carter on the set of Wonder Woman. Given that female superheroes were rare in the 70s, Warner Brothers only had male stunt doubles to work with Carter. She found the idea of a man doubling for her preposterous, and instead performed many of her own stunts. When Carter saw that her stunt double looked nothing like her in a shot from the Season 2 episode and Shula 77, Carter stood up to the plate of doing the helicopter stunt herself. Following that stunt, the executives opted to hire a female stunt double. Her fame led her to become the face of Maybelline Cosmetics, and she remained Maybelline's top model for over a decade. She was voted 1978's most beautiful woman in the world by the British Press Organization and the International Academy of Beauty. She has never let this title get to her head: both piercing blue eyes, hair that defies gravity, and a tall hourglass figure that seems too perfect to be real. We're not shocked by this title at all. Though she's best known as an actress, Lynda Carter is also an accomplished jazz singer with 3 studio albums under her belt. Her roots remained with her music. "Singing is in my soul. I was on the road performing in my teens and traveled from the Catskills to Las Vegas, and from San Francisco to the saloons of Texas." Wonder Woman premiered in November of 1975 in the form of a 2-hour pilot movie, and ran for 3 seasons. Starring Lynda Carter as the titular Paradise Island native living among the mortals of Washington, D.C., under the alias Diana Prince, Carter infused her Amazonian princess with charm, grace, and fortitude. She was a feminist icon without being too hardcore, and a role model who still managed to seem approachable. Carter herself once referred to Wonder Woman as a woman's woman, noting that you wanted to be her, or her best friend. To this day, Carter's Wonder Woman remains the ultimate interpretation of the character for generations of females. The creators of the first season of Wonder Woman were the same team behind Batman. For this reason, the show fit more in the campy satire genre. However, after the first season, the show got a serious tone makeover as Carter insisted on getting rid of the comedic aspects. Female empowerment is no joke, and definitely something we shouldn't belittle or ridicule. Just another example of how seriously Carter took this role and made it her own. If you consider this in light of Lynda's activist fight for female equality, it's a jaw-dropping fact. Even in 2021, women are struggling to be paid the same amount as their male colleagues. For this to be done so many decades ago was a triumph that deserves much more credit. She received $3,500 an episode, which increased to $6,000 as the show gained more success. The majority of men were paid more than women at that time, so this is truly a unique feat that Carter managed. Wonder Woman can be credited for pioneering the female-centric shows that came afterward. In the 1940s set first season especially, a lot of Wonder Woman statements about feminism could be misconstrued as being a bit on the preachy side. But Carter felt Wonder Woman's zealous outlook was necessary in helping to reduce the ever-present gender inequality on TV. At the time, you had to go to the extreme in order to get someplace in the middle in terms of fighting for women's rights, said the actress in the TV movie commentary. As it turns out, Wonder Woman's feminist stance was vital for the eventual success of countless actresses and series creators. I don't think we would have seen Roseanne Barr on television, or a lot of future things that occurred without Wonder Woman leading the way, echoed executive producer Douglas S. Kramer, who would go on to produce popular series like Dynasty and The Love Boat, in the same commentary. "I want it to move to the next generation of women and inspire the next generation of women," she said. "There is some visceral identity that people have with the character that I played, because they went into their backyards and they pretended to be her. We share that goddess within maybe, and I enjoy hearing those stories, so I don't really tire of it." This show led into the 1980s for Carter as a model, a voiceover artist, a singer, and the wife of a powerful Washington, D.C. attorney, Robert A. Altman, whom she married in 1984. Carter met Robert when they were sat together by a mutual friend at a social event. Just like the fearless character she represented on TV, Carter defeated her personal struggles with ease, overcoming a tough period in her life that she described as an abyss. Nobody's perfect, and even a woman as inspirational as Lynda is not without her flaws. She gives her family most of the credit for her commitment to being sober. Luckily, she's very open about sharing her struggle with others who are going through the same difficult process. She is grateful she has overcome one battle: alcoholism. "I've been in recovery for 23 years, she said. And I didn't even start drinking till I was in my mid-20s, the former pageant star continued. I would stop drinking for 2 or 3 years, then started again, and it just felt terrible. That was a long time ago, and now I'm very happy." According to the outlet, there is a history of alcoholism in the actress's family, and during the time Carter began drinking, she was unhappily married to her first husband, talent manager Ron Samuels. That union lasted from 1977 until 1982. Carter's picture-perfect world came to an abrupt halt in 1992 when unscrupulous business practices were alleged between First American and Pakistani banker Aga Hassan Abedi, the founder of the scandal-ridden Bank of Credit and Commerce International, BCCI. When Altman was indicted for bank fraud in relation to his dealings with BCCI, Carter was outraged and defended her husband vehemently in the press. After a year, Altman was cleared of any wrongdoing. However, fighting the charges had cost Carter and Altman $10 million in legal fees. In 1994, Carter appeared in her third television series, the syndicated adventure series Hawkeye. In the show, Carter starred as a beautiful and brave frontierswoman, Elizabeth Shields. The season lasted for 2 seasons before being discontinued. During the 1990s, Carter continued to live in the Washington, D.C. area, traveling back to Hollywood to take on parts in television movies. In the late 1990s, her made-for-television appearances included A Secret Between Friends, Shadow Zone, The Undead Express, She Woke Up Pregnant, A Prayer in the Dark, Someone to Love Me, and Family Blessings. Although Carter had scaled back her acting engagements, she continued to work occasionally. In 2002, she had a bit part as the governor in a raunchy police parody, Super Troopers, which was panned by critics but developed something of a cult following. In 2003, she appeared opposite Parker Stevenson in a PAX Network production titled Terror Peak. Even though her role as Wonder Woman lasted just 3 years, she has never completely broken away from her most famous character. "Pretty soon, people will look at me and say, 'That old woman was Wonder Woman?'" Continuing, she added, "But it's kind of fun to be regarded as a cult figure. I could resent it and be miserable, or not. What am I going to fight for it?" Carter is also Wonder Woman in her own right, highlighted through her support for social political issues. Throughout her career, the actress constantly supported different causes and has been raising awareness for many socio-political issues, including equal rights for the LGBT community, while frequently attending pride parades in Washington, D.C. The actress also supports women's rights and is an advocate regarding the irritable bowel syndrome, a sickness which plagued Carter's mother for over 30 years. She advocates for those with Alzheimer's disease. The actress and singer raised awareness of the disease as a way to honor her mother. But for more than 16 years, ever since her late mother, Juanita Cordova Carter, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease in 2003 at age 79. Carter has played her most important role, advocating for more awareness and research funding for the disease. She recently began lending her name and support to Maria Shriver's Women's Alzheimer's Movement. She also serves on an executive committee for the Alzheimer's Drug Discovery Foundation, a nonprofit organization founded in 1998 by the Lauder family to support Alzheimer's disease research worldwide. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new here.